God. If you don't update to the proper one, I personally punt something. Okay, come on. Come on, you. There we go. Good, good. That's the correct title. That is the correct title. So in that case, time to... break my life. And a 1 and a 2. And a ready for you. Alright. God, spare me the suffering. Grant me succor, for if I am granted strength, I will need the money to make bail to go with it. Because, dear Lord... Oh, dear. Alright, so this is about to be a very fucking tedious. And the suck? Oh, nothing important. Okay. Fuck my life. Fuck my life. See, the problem with having a shit memory and rattled melon is you don't always remember where you actually need to go. And I can assure you, my melon has been rattled many a time. At this point, I just think every few years I've got to rattle it, or something in the universe will break. My reasoning is from the fucked up logic of I keep rattling it like every 5, 6 years. So I'm about due for another rattling here in the next year or two. Which, God spare me. God spare me. Because it is going to be miserable if I do rattle it again. I've already lost function in one half. Partially. Do I want to know what'll happen if I lose partial function in the other half? Alright, I think that's... No, there's one of my people I need to send that to, and... Let's see, where be? No. Okay, I might bug this one of my people, at the very least. And, okay, two more, I forgot. Come on, hey, work with me phone. I didn't pay $200 for you to suck donkey dick. And yeah, that's it for... Actually, scratch that. I'm going to annoy one more of my people. Alright, right. The last of my idiots, because I forgot one of them. And then it's back to Valisthea, while I barely remember jack fuckity about this place. I remember chaos and violence and some of the best voice acting I have ever heard. Like, honestly, the raw human element of Final Fantasy XVI's. Oh, I'm not tackling none of the DLC right now because I've been expressly avoiding streaming or returning until the game was completed. Which, with Rising Tide, it is. Although, I guess... To be fair, I'm part of the way there, at least. Because there's several quests and side quests that need to be completed before I get Well, this is a Final Fantasy mode playthrough, and I just wrapped up the... Hold on, quite the mess. Word out of Twinside. I just wrapped up the fight against Bahamut. That's right. Because honestly, that fight was easily, for me, the worst part of the fucking game. And the reason I say that isn't just because of the whole damage check. It's because you have that damage check as Phoenix. And if you get hit by even a single attack during the lock-on, the game goes, eat a dick. You're not doing shit. You lost the DPS check right now. I say that with the certainty I do, because that is pretty much what happens.
Did you see?
Okay, right, I forgot. System, let's see, I forget which of these little subsects of the menu it actually, there it is. Huh? Oh, this is a Final Fantasy mode playthrough. Like, I just got past Bahamut. And I know full well that I have to get all the way through fucking Barney to start the DLC. Yeah, well...
Going purse weighing you down?
The thing is that I'm already committed to this shit, man.
It'd better all be here.
Like, believe me, I know I'm going to get absolutely fucked doing this on FF mode. Oh, interesting. Interesting, so those are new ones. Well, as one... Oh? Melody seems familiar. Alright. So let's see. I've got 307,000. I can afford to buy these out.
Find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Believe me, I know doing this shit on a Final Fantasy mode playthrough especially is going to brutalize me.
You'll not find a better price than
because I'm going to be walking through half the fights, not knowing which enemies are actually supposed to be there, which enemies aren't.
Come again.
But
oh, don't.
I'm
not much bothered.
I'm prepared to get fucked like that.
What do you want?
Alright. Oh. Stats are stats.
Right.
Wait a fucking minute. Ah, shit, that's craft, not reinforce. I even have, okay, Judgment Bolt, Breath of Lightning.
My best work, but it'll do.
No, because I'm not using Ramu.
That should do you.
Right now, anyways. -5. Minus 180.
And?
Alright. Like, I already know I'm nearing the end phases of the game because of the way the sky's changed. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, the Arete Stone. Probably just telling me, oh hey, new shit in arcade or stage replay. Yep. And that includes... I can believe it. Think about it like this. For me, on normal, it took about 7 tries to take down Bahamut. And pretty similarly, it took about 7 fucking tries to do it on Final Fantasy mode too. It was the exact same phase both times that did me the dirtiest. Okay, new hunts, I guess. View the hunt board. Let's see. Magath Brothers. Oh yeah, those fucking idiots. And then that motherfucker. Let's see. I am not going to try that at level 67. I'm not stupid. Oh, I'm not going to do myself dirty like that. I'm level 67 on Final Fantasy mode, and I was looking at an... God damn it. Oh, right. That's a new feature. Anyways, I was making a knock on the fact that I am not going to try to take down the Breaker of Worlds, that stupid fucking Iron Giant, on FF mode at level 67. Oh, the Bahamut thing? It was the Gigaflare phase. Keep in mind that when you've got a lot of visual clutter, I am nearly half blind. So trying to focus on a dozen attacks coming at me from every angle of the screen means I'm constantly overstressing my good eye. That was why the Bahamut fight was such a struggle for me. It was the Gigaflare phase, the blow up the orbs while he's throwing everything in the kitchen fucking sink at you. Like, I have it somewhere in... I actually do have the vid in a VOD archive and a serving bell specifically for every time he killed me. That serving bell is currently lost to the ether right now, or else I'd be dinging it every time I died. Actually, give me just a couple minutes, because I know where in the ether it is. It's just a matter of sifting through the ether for it. But that's kind of the point. That specific phase is too much visual clutter for someone with my kind of specific ocular disabilities. As it stands, I do not just suffer from the near blindness in the one eye. I suffer from extreme light sensitivity in both. It's just worse in the one that's been ruined. And Bahamut's light is naturally in the shades and colors that actually offend that sensibility. The only part of Bahamut I truly struggled on was the Gigaflare phase. If it was not for that phase... Okay, I did get a little cocky and did forget a few of his patterns in Phase 1 and Phase 3, but not enough for it to really impact my death count. Like, between those two phases, I died twice. The Gigaflare phase took, like, 6 or 7. Oh, it's not a color blindness thing at all. I'm just extremely sensitive to white light, which you can't fucking avoid. Most of Bahamut's attacks, particularly in the Gigaflare phase, are white light, or primarily white. So anyways, that's kind of why I do not generally like that phase. Like, that's the only phase I truly struggled with.
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fact storms out mother crystals and the skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities. helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just the messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
Anyways.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether.
Oh, I know.
But not like this.
Like I said, this is a Final Fantasy mode playthrough. I remember the major story beats, including Clive Bested and Become One. And to be fair, the Clive Bested was honestly one of the best moments. Because it's like, no matter how hard you try.
Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces.
To be honest, I'm actually surprised it's as late in the game as it is. Because most games, when they throw out the unwinnable, you're gonna get your shit rocked fight, they throw it out like either in the first 5 to 10 hours, or the first 20, not right as you're on the final few story beats.
Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Yeah, no, the forced loss was actually pretty fair, all considered. Like, it's when he whips out the Zontetsuken that you get kind of fucked, and at that point, that attack is... Well, it's just the you're fucked attack anyways. And that's just kind of the thing. It's honestly not the worst as far as, oh, no, you're getting your shit kicked. Like, honestly, it didn't feel as annoying as the two that Grand Blue Fantasy Relink threw out at you back to back, basically. Like, I'm not digging on the game. I kind of liked playing it, but in that same vein, I get frustrated when it's like, oh yeah, unwinnable boss fight after unwinnable boss fight. And one of your characters gets fucking kidnapped because fuck you.
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day, did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Gus the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Yeah, the thing here for me... You know, that's fair. Like, not just the whole, oh yeah, so we're going to dial back the whole scenario because you were forced to lose here and let you rewrite this chapter. Like, I don't mind being able to get your get back. I just mind if it's just, oh no, we're going to turn back the clock on that. I much prefer being able to get your get back after a few levels, a couple more milestone fights, and then being able to go, alright, twice the pride, double the fall, let's fucking go. Also, this is the sound that I had specifically for when I died on my Bahamut stream, because that was what I was waiting for. Did that even ring out through the damn thing? Or do I have to get a little closer?
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
Actually, there are three. We had
Okay,
as many
good.
owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Kashik out her gates, and talking monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
Alright, so let's see, it was... Where? Oh, Dalimil, Northreach, Martha's Rest. Okay. What the... Oh yeah, God.
Clive!
New Alliant
Here you
report.
go.
Okay, why we fight. Times of war. And down the rabbit hole. Honestly, my...
First we find Isabel.
Honestly, that's fair.
Saw ghosts on the far side of the wall.
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oriflamme under her blood.
Then we're next.
Honestly, for me, one of the big kicks in the teeth is
I can't do it.
trying to... It's just all of the bosses that beat your ass.
My lord. My lady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different.
Boy,
They've taken so many. I've lost count.
that's right.
Akashic.
This fucking story beat. This fucking story beat. Alright. I don't have a Zontetsuken, but I'm going to have to brute force my way through it anyways. Good thing there's going to be a bunch of those little fuckers and the dancing steel hits hard. Okay, hopefully you guys can... Alright.
We're different.
Fucking hate those guys.
Ultimus thralls.
See,
What of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
see, the whole reason I fucking hate the thralls and the liches is specifically the liches. Like, I do not care about enemies that kind of do what they want. I care when they teleport out of my attacks when they're clearly about to stagger. Or when they teleport and just randomly get to output enough damage to 1 to 2 shot you.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives. Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Yeah, my big problem with Odin's powers is not even just the fact that they're not splashable. It's the fact that you don't get any limit break out of them, which, okay, I get it. Your whole point is Zontetsuken spam with Odin. Doesn't mean it isn't annoying. When all you have is Zontetsuken, Zontetsuken, Zontetsuken. Instead of being able to throw out random bullshit, limit break into stronger bullshit, and do more.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly, and sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
I'd like you to consider my needs.
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors.
Oh. Shit. Fucking... Helldivers has a major order of absolute violence against the bugs. Well, time to speak with the poor fuckers that made it out.
Did you see the
Oh, my version of Bug Zapper is Will o' the Wisps and Lightning Rod. Just get in real close and it just kind of turns the will gauge into fucking paste.
creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, they came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed more when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all
Fucking
right.
dead.
Just rest now.
It's Final Fantasy 16. He's fucking dead. Oh yeah, in the patch notes for the current patch, they reduced the timer between petting the dog. Also, the thing that I find funniest is the trophy of You Can Pet the Dog only has 57% of players. 57.6. That tells me that 42.4% of the players of this game are heartless bastards.
You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
I'm sorry, darling. I truly am.
I just love how one of the things you see on the subreddit for this game a lot is people bitching. Why isn't there a sprint button? Why isn't there a sprint button? Why isn't there a sprint button? Even though it takes all of like 2 seconds to actually activate.
They just left the bodies there in the flood.
Okay. Shit. Okay, so I have... Right. I use a very fuck shit ability kit. And if you think I'm exaggerating... Shiva and Ramu on fucking Garuda. Hey, look, disappointment. Mostly because I don't actually need that. Alright. Here comes the party. Kegs for the bro down.
Clive, look. I see them. With me.
That's right. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goofy motherfuckers. Time to meet your maker. Here's the tolling of the bell. Fucking kill y'all again when I see y'all in hell. Alright. So, here's the part where everyone fucking dies. There is actually max range to that. It's just extremely long.
Save your strength.
Alright. Come here, bitch. See, my big problem with Magic Burst is actually how awkward its timing truly is. Like, you try to pop it as soon as you actually perform an attack, and it doesn't work. Okay. Y'all want to protect? Protect from these fucking nuts! Didn't even realize there was a Spectre on the field, otherwise I would have singled it right the fuck out. And there's the... There it is. There's the fucking mistake. Oh. Wrong kit. Whoopsie! Sit the fuck down. I would have words with you. And by words, I mean absolute violence. The Phoenix sends its regards. You fucking... No, actually. I do not rely on perfect dodging enough, and I'm not fast enough to get them off very often. Alright, fuckface. Well, that's on me. Alright. Fuck, I was really hoping to get this off before he regained his fucking stagger gauge. Yeah, my problem is I keep eating every fucking attack under the sun. Case in point! Just a little more will damage. To be honest, that's the big reason I have for using magic in this game. A little bit of will damage goes a long fucking way. See, this is what I have against these bitches. It's the fact that they keep fucking teleporting right out of your attack range. Alright, motherfucker. I am going to ice you like a fucking popsicle. And you can't say you didn't deserve it, you're a waste of data. Your whole point for existing is to be the most annoying fucking thing that can be thrown out among these fucking hordes. Count 1 carcass, 2 carcass, 3 carcass, 4. Not enough carcasses, bitch, I need 2 more. Fucker. See, my problem there was all of my shit was on fucking cooldown. the first time he got staggered.
Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
Honestly, there's not a lot that are actually notable. Like, I can think of one vague memories, but there's not a lot. Shiva's just kind of been iconic since the beginning. And that's the thing. Once Shiva was introduced, they kind of just didn't use others. Meanwhile, with Fire, you've at least got Phoenix and Ifrit. And those two have kind of always been the two. I'm trying to remember Darkness and Light, but that's usually, well, Typhon, I can't say Odin, I recall being associated with Darkness, but it doesn't surprise me. Then Light, I don't actually remember any off the top of my head, because Bahamut is typically unaspected, raw magic. Fucking... Leviathan's kind of always taken the role of water god, but I swear there was another. And there just really hasn't... Alexander for Light, I'm guessing? To be fair, I couldn't get very far in some of the older ones, either because I got confused on where to go, or I just kept getting fucked at some point in the story, so I gave up. To be honest, the only Final Fantasies I've beaten any story of, like the actual story. Yeah, the only two I've beaten were 16 and 15. I've gotten to A Realm Reborn or fucking Heaven's Word era story for 14. And as if I'm going backwards, I didn't touch 13. I played 8, played the original 7, beaten the 7 remake, first chapter. Well, first of the 7 remakes series, I should say. I always got stuck in 7 trying to find my way through the Temple of the Ancients. And in 8, I just got lost on where to fucking go.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more.
14, it's mostly a matter of the sub and the amount of time I actually... My schedule does not line up well with almost anyone else's. Because I'm night shift in my time zone, which is Pacific time. So by the time anyone else wants to play the game, I'm home, I'm tired, I want to fucking sleep. And the big prog stopper for me is the Heavensward and Realm Reborn era story. The stuff before Shadowbringers actually kicks off. In that weird segue area where you're trying to make your way through the fucking jungle and bullshit. After dealing with the fucking Primal Shiva, Primal... fucking... It was after the last major story beats I can truly recall are kicking the shit out of... Oh, fuck. Needhogg. Just shanking the absolute fuck out of Needhogg. And dealing with Shiva. Or rather, you know, the worshipper and her fucking icon manifestation. Ah, fuck. Those are the 2 days I'm never free. Tuesdays, I am not free because of D&D. And Sundays, I'm not free because work. Because it's the last day... Sunday night is the last night of my work week. So it's get home from work Sunday morning, do stuff for maybe an hour or two, go to sleep, work Sunday night, and then come out. And right now, it's a matter of I'd have to resub to the game and figure out some way to clear out my OS drive on my PC, because that thing is clogged to the fucking nines with unnecessary data. I have reached a point where I am genuinely debating just getting a new one, because honestly, mine is out of date. This fucking thing is like 5-6 years old, and it's been choking for the last 2 years. So, it needs to be replaced, but the problem is the price of replacing it. One of those things that I have to save up for, but I have more pressing concerns. Otherwise, I would.
And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. Whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of shit going on outside of stream, outside of the online world, and some of that shit is just, can life cut a man a break? And the thing, like, the big reason why I'm iffy on resubbing to a game that I did not play enough, that I could not personally justify, is right now it's because I've got nearly a $60 a month in payment plan for 3 years to deal with a fucking hospital bill. Because, of course, bad luck. And the other major issue there is the fucking... Oh, what was it called? Alright, right. Things fall apart. I didn't grab the... Okay, so... The fuck is new at the shop here? And anyways, on top of the hospital bill, I've got a new set of health concerns to deal with, so it's like, fuck, either I get the medical runaround or I get treatment, and treatment means even more money out of pocket. So once again, cannot rationalize to myself money on, say, new PC and game sub when there is a much more important thing to worry about.
And what can I do for you?
Alright, so what do you have that's actually new here? I mean, oh, well. Let's see, that's a plus...
You've a keen eye.
Oof. Oh, shit. They put a lot more orchestrion rolls across the world map. Holy hell.
I do like a customer who knows what he wants. You've a keen eye.
Look, I would say rip Gil, but we all know that if I start actually tagging out hunts, I'm going to get a lot of this shit back.
An excellent choice. I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
And besides that, sell items. I know full well I've got some self-water items lying around. Who the fuck doesn't? Used in crafting. Let's see, right. Pretty sure it's going to be near the bottom here. No. Yep. Look at that. There's 20k, 40k, another 30k. Only about 2k, but I mean, come on. And we sell it. Ah, right. I forgot you can't bulk sale.
I doubt you'll get more than that
Oh, wait.
in the
Sell all
capital.
valuables. So, behold. I have made at least most of that gil I just spent back.
And a fine day to you.
Which now means back to the hideout. Motherfucker. Do not mind me. I am just very... It has been nearly 6 months since I last played the fucking game. Like, hold on, I have to do the math here. Yeah, 5 months. I last played right around November. And so it's because of that that I look as rusty as I feel.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried? You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although, you're a little late. They left with our food and gil days ago. Any idea where they went? The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Ah, as if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Honestly, the thing I find interesting about this whole quest line is it's a very human thing. People are panicked. People are disturbed. Clearly they watch their friends and family die and get their shit stolen right when they need supplies the most.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Fuck is it this time? Alright. Now then, let's see. Oh yes, look at all the bodies on the floor.
So, you see my predicament? What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight. My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along. Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Ah yes, Clive's famous, world-renowned acting skills in action.
Picture it, Conrad. Your own. Ah, here she is.
Lord Byron is honestly one of the best characters of the fucking game. I am sad his voice actor died during production and they had to use AI to synthesize it for the remainder. Because, honestly, to me, one of the most heartbreaking but heartfelt scenes was that initial intro to Byron. The part where Clive plays to the nostalgia to show it's really him. That Byron is not just facing some pretender, that it's not just some shadow of his past come back to haunt him, that it's Clive, that it's his nephew that he is looking at. that it is someone he cared for and part of his family, and that he is not actually dead, that he is there. To me, Byron, like I said, he was one of the best characters. He is one of the things that makes the game for me. Because when you see the scene from Byron's perspective, the sheer human emotion of it is what gets to me every time. I didn't know he voiced Four Temps, but honestly, that's kind of funny to me. Like, Byron himself is one of the best characters of the game. Yeah, I remember Four Temps, and I remember Harshafont. Like, I remember getting through the part, like I said, my last major story beats that I can recall are beating the shit out of Needhogg, solving Shiva and making her question everything she knew, and making my way through this jungle area before the game kind of reminded you that, hey, anything before Shadowsbringer, MSQ did not actually offer enough XP to MSQ again after. You had to grind out at least 500,000 or more XP. At least. And that was just something I didn't have the time for at that time. Like, all the way up till right there, I barely had the time to play the game. And now it's a matter of rig, needing to upgrade, and having the time and money. I can believe it. Sorry, I was muted for refreshment purposes, and I wasn't going to subject everyone to the sound of me consuming at the rate I consume at. And, I mean, I remember seeing some of the Zavala memorials. I forget the guy's name right now, but the voice actor for Zavala kicked it, and there was just all of those people using the Pyrrhic Victory emote, and you had several days of just masses of people doing that. because that's just how we mourn those people as gamers. The bonfires, the fire emotes. If you've never seen the Pyrrhic Victory emote in Destiny 2, they pull out a couple of basically glow sticks and just drop to their knees. And you had basically everyone shoulder to shoulder using it and kneeling in front of him.
The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, Commander of the Red Wings.
So right before he kicked it. I played up till Lightfall, and I honestly plan on waiting for it to go on sale on PS. Well, just all the DLC to go on sale on PS, because it's not account bound, it's fucking console bound. And honestly, I don't play my Xbox enough to justify trying to get anything new on it. Bitch Queen was fun, and Osteo was a menace in my hands, though.
The oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalam's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Yeah, I can believe it. Didn't he also make illustrations for, like, Dragon Quest back in the day? Or am I completely mixing up RPGs and series? Because I know Toriyama kind of paved the way for a lot of modern anime stuff. And he can be considered one of the forefathers of the shonen. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. The only one I know by its original name is Resident Evil, and that's because I remember hearing Biohazard this, Biohazard that, and then Resident Evil Biohazard, which was translated over in Japan as Biohazard, Resident Evil, or the Yakuza and Like a Dragon games. Just, it became, they referenced it as Yakuza and then went, oh yeah, Yakuza, Like a Dragon, and Like a Dragon, Yakuza. But that's because I think they just found it funny to do that. Although it does make one question it whether or not if they won't make a Dragon Quest Dragon Warrior game. But that's just me idly musing. considering they made it at least a joke trend for a little while, it's plausible. Maybe not entirely in the ballpark, but plausible. So, you know, whatever happens, happens. Come to think of it, isn't Dragon Quest also a Square Enix IP?
My shop.
Or am I mixing up publishers again?
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something.
Oh, this is going to be funny.
Be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but
because I remember Clive's illustrious acting skills. And they are one of the greatest, most hilarious things about this fucking game. Because we all know Clive sucks at acting. Like, they make it very obvious several times throughout the story that he is not an actor. He is very much a frontline fighter and a very honest man, not... He's no politician. Right, just sending something to a friend and then I'll be right back into the acts of violence.
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to...
Here we go.
Here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
Honestly, I have some friends who have already gone through...
I'm convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Oh yeah, didn't one of them either go by that, or that was one of the many titles of one of the Bagginses? And one of my friends went through the event already, and they didn't just get the Torgal mount, they went out of their way to get Clive's strip. Which, you know what, fair. That man's strip is some of the best in gaming right now. At least for Final Fantasy Protag.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to...
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
Time to catch some bodies.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I remember this part of the story in particular because the town turns on Lubor for being a bearer. He was just unbranded. Is it like, he was fucking lying the whole time, he's a fucking filthy bearer. I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goofy up motherfuckers. Yeah, that's right, that's right. Give me your booty, give me your booty. Come on, come on. Y'all got a lot of booties. Y'all got a lot of booties. Come on, come and get some. Say goodnight.
They mean to overwhelm us.
Aw, that's adorable. He thinks he's a threat. Oh, that's really good to fucking know. So if it misses your intended fucking target, so in case you missed it, if fucking, oh shit. Okay, fine. Everyone dies! Hello, Mr. Sultan. How well do you like the taste of death? To be honest, it's 100% on me for not paying enough attention to realize this guy was here. Nope. 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 Sit the fuck down. I already know this isn't going to be loaded enough to actually do enough damage. Come on, motherfucker. A little closer. Fuck boy. Fucker. Blessings upon you. Oh, I've seen people make that question all the time about this game.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Like... Yeah. I am hyper aggressive in this game. That's why I rely on Willow the Wykes, not just as a DPS and will gauge chipper, but because of its defensive ability.
Natalie.
Also, for me, it's a matter of I might actually be possessed of psoriatic arthritis, so that's dulled my... It's dulled my ability to rely on abilities like parries or anything with perfect timing window. Can't exactly do it as fast when your joints are too stiff to work the way they should.
I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Dalimil.
We all saved Dalimil.
Conrad
All right.
seems to have had a change of heart.
Later down the chain.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Oh, I can use the Titan Parry if I need to.
Now, Victor, why quibble over the details? We are united.
It's just a matter of learning the timing.
As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment.
And yeah, no. For me, it's a matter of the only icon ability I can't actually use worth 2 shakes of a rat's ass is not the Titan Parry. It's Shiva's Permafrost Dodge. That is the one I have the most difficulties in trying to actually do. Even though it's got a similar timing window to the parry, to the perfect dodge, and to be fair, I also just got back to this game from a much more aggressive, much more hyper aggro game, where you couldn't afford to drop pressure for even a moment, because otherwise things would get up, go, ha, fuck you.
Here you are. My thanks. An excellent choice.
Oh shit, they really added a lot of orchestrion roles to the game.
An excellent choice.
Because the Titan Lost theme is honestly one of the best in the fucking game, in my opinion.
Here you are. An excellent choice. Here you are.
Well, rip that. Not a lot, but
Thank you for your custom.
I'm about to deal with some goofy motherfuckers. First off, world map. Second off, pay the hideaway visit. Reacquire the general locations of a B rank and a similar hunt. Because, like, the 3 buffoons are not as hard as possible. As do the Veil's doors. We wouldn't want to do the name Underhill a disservice now, would we? Ow. Honestly, the fight I struggled with the most without dying was the goddamn dragon hunt. The yes ranker. Because I did that fight at like level 49 on normal. Like I'm pretty sure that hunt is actually up here. Yeah, Ruin Reawakened. I did that at level 90, or not level 90, at level 49 on normal. Out of 50. It was either 49 or 45, and on normal, level cap was 50 without the DLC. Like, that I will try around level 70 to 75. Ten of Clubs, Dalmekians, Fields of Karava. So Fields of Karava and then the coast. I just need to remember to keep some stone skin tonics on hand.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon.
Alright. Well, you know what? We take those.
You earned this.
We fucking take those. Oh, yeah. The Ruin Reawakened fight is not... It's just another fucking dragon fight, honestly. It could be a lot harder. It could also be a lot more nightmarish. The problem is learning the patterns.
All done?
Because, yes, it's another dragon, but it has a bunch of different attacks in its kit. And it's those different attacks that it has that throw you off guard. Okay, so... Yeah, same. Like, I need to figure out which of these maps is my target destination. The area around Port Isolde. Right, there we are, Port Isolde. Because it's between the Aldale Docks and Port Isolde. And honestly, I can probably feed my, oh, that's not even worth... Oh, you know what? Never mind. I hate hornets. Come here, fucker! Right, I forgot Punish. Spin you right round, till you go down, down. See, this is my favorite part of that bullshit, okay? See? Ow. My big problem is that window is kind of inconsistent. Because the way it implies itself to work is that the timing is as soon as you actually strike with a melee attack. Press magic. Alright, I count 1, 2, 3 goofy little motherfuckers. Time to put 1, 2, 3 goofy little motherfuckers in the dirt. You all suck. Oh wow, these guys are actually a pretty moderate level gap over me. A shame for all of them that, oh, fuck me. Okay, so that's on me for getting cocky, and also missing my fucking Deadly Embrace window. Alright. Chunk 1. Will I get another one? No, I don't. Oh no, here it comes. Damn. Yeah, see, the window on that is actually a lot narrower than it looks like. And of course my ball lightning runs out the exact moment I land the dancing seal. Huh. Didn't know that. Man, these guys are playing musical chairs with being the one that's the staggered bitch. Okay, good. I just knocked myself into a much better position to deal with that bullshit. And by that, I mean the fact that this man's about to die here. That was like 3 level 5s on Tetsuken's, by the way. At least. Motherfuckers better pay me out a fucking level. Wow. A level. Enough to level up.
No more vengeance. No more war. Where would I be without you?
Honestly, the Torgal side quest was heartbreaking. It was heartwarming and heartbreaking in just as much a measure. Alright, now my next target was in the fields of Karava, which means going back to Dalmekia. And he's going to be somewhere here. I want to say around Vimar or the hovel. I don't actually remember where that motherfucker is. Just fields of Karava. Wow, so specific. So I'm going to just drop by Dalamil, restock my couple potions, and then whack the shit out of that guy.
The bandits, maybe.
Huh.
Look what they've left us.
I mean, it makes sense. It's Yoshi P who was the primary
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch.
scenario director for both games, so...
Good day, my lord.
Huh. Wait a minute. Pretty sure I have the +1 for that, so it's not actually worth it.
My thanks.
I'm actually going to double check that real quick. Gear and icons. Lightning rod. No! Or I don't have it equipped. So I'm looking for a Breath of Lightning, And it would be a +1 version of it. Okay, so... Let's see. Luckily they... Oh, wait. Sort. There we go. Okay. Breath of Lightning. Oh, I do not have a +1 for that. Oh, I do not have a +1 for that. Honestly, pile drive is fun in fodder swarm scenarios, but also if you saw the patch notes for the game, like the actual patch notes, they touched up just about everything. And one of the things that they actively tagged and tweaked was the fact that Flare Breath was bad. So it now eats some enemy projectiles when used, and rather than knock back, it's knock up, if I recall correctly. Okay, so that's something to come back for when I have a lot more... You know what, fuck it.
Are you looking for something in particular?
Fuck it. I have just enough to buy it, and I honestly use that ability enough to justify buying 2 of those.
An excellent choice.
Do I even have valuables? No. Okay, now. Time to go to the fields of the Karava. Let's see, which button was waypoint? Ah, that one. Okay, yes. I'm not going through the Velcroy. Fuck that. Alright, so I'm just going to throw myself around this general area. I'm sure I'll bumble into him. If I actually target around Vamere, because I remember the empty hovel was a different target site. And... Come forth, Ambrosia! Now, admittedly, if I see things to whack, I'm going to whack them. Ha! Well, speak of the devil. Someone call PETA. I'm about to commit an act of heinous animal abuse. And by that I mean juggling this poor, abominable creature like it owes me money. Hike! See, the problem with having no limit break gauge is I have to pick every... I have to choose every fight on my way from A to B. The kicker here is this. Solves a lot of crowd problems. And offers a nice chunky break. Come here, bitch. To be fair, I used to run Mega Flare a lot as my solution to problem children. As my, I don't want to deal with this horde. Also, they touched up Mega Flare. It opens with a dodge animation now. Which, you know what, fair enough. It kind of needed something like that. Hey, look, it's a Helldiver. Unfortunately, these ones are the not very democratic kind. They're treasonous little fuckers. Thank you for making a popsicle. I'm sorry, did I give you permission to run away? To be honest, that's the only reason I really use Deadly Embrace against fodder. It's like, no, you're not allowed to get out of this combo. You're allowed to die. Just need to make sure I'm not taking the wrong turn here, which that very much would have been. Okay, all of my gauges are full, I think. So it's time to fucking book it. And... God, okay, this was a scary... The fucking red chocobo that spawns here was a scary fucking fight. Away we go! Okay, I'm just looking for one big motherfucker. Okay. From there. Just said he was in the fields of Caraba, so I don't remember the exact... Hey, look at that!
It'll do, girl.
Looks like my sense of memory isn't as bad as it could have been. Hey, big guy! How well do you die?
Not the god's forsaken soul, eh?
I keep talking shit, Batman.
Show him to your pockets.
Aw, hear that? He's trying to run in my pockets, guys! Here. Allow me to show him what getting your pockets run really means in this verse. Oh yeah, no, like, I straight up did not want to get smoked by that little shit ever again. That thing was fucking terrifying. Alright, pal. Let's see how long you can withstand the fucking heat. Let's see if I can't get a cheeky double contest again off here. Can't. Too much of his gauge is already refilled. Oh yeah, no, that thing casting Meteor on me was like the moment where I went, oh, I'm in a lot of fucking danger here. Crazy thing here is they actually buffed the will damage of Shiva's Diamond Dust and most of her kit. See, the problem for this guy is that he's a very stationary, very fat target. Okay, I pressed Gungnir there, believe it or not. Alright. With gloves on Tetraken counter. Fuck it. I guess you can say I'm getting back into the swing of things. I don't care that that was a bad pun. You can see just how aggressive my playstyle is from this shit alone. On Tetraken number 3. Will you survive? Well, that answers that, but only because I didn't rack it up to the 1.5x modifier. Come on, big man. Ha! Never thought I'd see the day I got a steel counter kill. Or my bad, flash of steel. And I needed that.
A deserter turned outlaw. We were more similar than he knew.
Honestly, that's one of the other aspects I like about this game a lot. They kind of handle the way the main characters deal with their trauma and the bullshit that is their shit show lives a lot more realistically than most other JRPGs do. I mean, look at how much sexual tension is between these two, but because of all their fucking trauma, they are refusing to get down and dirty. Okay, now that I've wiped out the two I'm willing to try to throw hands with, I'm going to take a quick little break, and then I'm going to pay Martha a visit. What, do you mean Ragnarok and Götterdämmerung? The Twilight of the Gods? Which is actually what those two weapons are called across both languages. That is, they are literally just the same event with a different name. I do not know its significance in Final Fantasy lore, but I'm assuming, considering their names are synonymous with apocalypse, it's something important. Huh.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Kashik. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened.
Oh? What is the significance, then?
Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Well, the thing there is, yeah, Ragnarok's the name of the final battle, but when one translates them both literally, they are the same event, the Twilight of the Gods. Okay, that's right. This is not towards the Breaker of Worlds. Ah. Well, like I said, it's more a matter of I only know their translations. And know that they are synonymous with an apocalyptic event. Or at least the end of an age of gods. Well, these wolves are about to have a very bad day. Oh, wow. Okay, those are a lot of thistles. I do not feel bad about popping this off anymore. Now I feel kind of bad. Except not really, because that spider deserves it. Did it seriously lock on to the goddamn bird? Of course it did. Why wouldn't it? Alright, come on. Into the whirling murder vortex, you fucks. All of you die now. Do the world a favor. That makes a lot of sense, actually. It's the difference between the final battle and the actual start. The beginning of the end versus the end.
If you've come to rob this place.
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
How do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Actually, if one is to assume that most of the hunts are about twice the level that they were on normal, that means I am just barely in the range where I can even tickle the fucker, the Breaker of Worlds. Because last I recall, that thing was between level 35 and I want to say that the original fight with it was between level 35 and something else. 35 and 39.
Take care out there, eh?
Damn, they really added a lot of orchestrion roles to vendors in the game.
Mad dogs. The law of them.
But yeah, no, that actually makes a lot of sense. The end and the actual ending of the tale. Final battle versus the actual ending of the tale.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
God. I just love Sir Balls to the Wall Wade here, okay? Because when you first go through... Because, you know, the first part of the journey, Wade is balls to the wall, first to rush in. And he has not changed in that regard. He is still going to go balls to the fucking wall. But this time they're made out of tungsten. So he is going to dent that wall, if not outright break it, with how fucking heavy and big his balls are.
So Wade. Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Ah yes, Akashic Tortoise.
Damn it! We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try.
Ah yes, famous last words
You with us, Sir Wade?
when playing D&D.
Then let's do our duty.
Alright, so, this is actually a really bad position to be in, honestly, because I don't think Turtle has... Oh no, Turtle has Great Gate. That means Turtle go down! And then Turtle becomes Zontepsican target. What the fuck? Are you seriously telling me that little shit... That's honestly why I tend to free aim or free fire that particular ability. Honestly, people joke that Noctis is just the dominant of Knights of the Round. Which, you know what, tracks. Because it's pretty heavily implied that Noctis's whole final cutscene, final battle, is just the Knights of the Round coming out. If you played through the ending of 15, then you know the scene I'm talking about. Okay, that's actually kind of frustrating. I keep forgetting the game has a bad problem with missed input, particularly charged input. Oh, that'd be funny, but also fucking terrifying. Okay, Turtle. Got you a present. The present is violence and pain. Fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. Damn. Good. Ah, damn it. Didn't have enough time to get it off. Doesn't mean I'm not going to go for as much will damage as possible. You know what? That's fair.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Honestly, though, my favorite part of the Royal Edition version of Final Fantasy 15 wasn't even just like the whole, oh, you had the Armiger unleashed. It was the final battle scene. And how the final ascent changed. Because, honestly, it was just a nice touch. Okay, no. We do not want to drop off any of these fuckers. My big issue is, even with the accessory, I need the +1 version of that accessory to maximize that gain. And even then, that's not always going to help. Oh, right? Hell, give us a dominant of Gilgamesh. Either he summons the chicken or he doesn't.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Just patch me up as quick as you can and get me back out there.
Okay, so Flames of Rebirth is still on cooldown. I have no gauge, and I'm about to cut my way through a fucking army. That's it. Come here, you fucking goblins. Time to teach you the Dragon's Dogma way. You fuckers have no rights. Come on, that's right. Group up, motherfuckers. Die. What? Oh, I didn't have the Zontetsuken out, even though I keep forgetting there is way too much of it. I did some Hildy stuff, yes. Oh, fuck. Akashic Chocobos. What's worse than a Chocobo? An Akashic Chocobo. Bonk. Anyone want fucking chicken legs? It might be a little extra crispy, though.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, Sir Wade. Shall we?
I don't care about the thistles, I care about that little waste of data. Come here, you little fuck. See, that's why I hate those guys. That, in particular, is why I hate them. That attack has so many actual active hits. Oh, right? That would be the funniest shit ever. To be honest, any attack that can eat all 4 Will-O-the-Wisps, fucking... Any attack that can eat all 4 Will-O-the-Wisp shields is not an attack that should exist in that state. Not if it's a single... what looks to be a single hit animation. No, you are not getting back up. I won't fucking allow it. Yes, that is how badly I hate these fucking things. They are, as the name implies, a fucking plague. See you in hell, fucker. Also, that would be the funniest shit ever. Gil just going, "Fight me, bitch!" at the hideaway. Like, specifically the hideaway.
Do you see any more?
No one knows why, no one knows how, but he got their fucking address.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
And honestly, can you just imagine him just showing up?
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
You don't know how fucking Gil got there, just that he's there.
To guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
What sucks is all of your signposts reset in New Game Plus. All of your signposts and mementos. Because it is extremely
There's someone I'd like
tough.
you to meet. Oscar, over here.
Getting some of them.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rosfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew.
Well, go on then. It's not for me to ask him.
Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I am a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that, they're...
It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
Our friends seem to have things under control.
Oh, right, they just added that with this patch. Well then, that's interesting.
Now at least,
completely disabled.
Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
That's actually really nice, though, because honestly, sometimes I got annoyed going, okay, which part of the map? Where am I headed? I have a very poor sense of direction, and people kind of forget that if they don't see me navigating my way from one body to catch to the next. Okay, 60,000 for an S-rank hunt. Considering those three idiots were only 39,000, I think it's safe to say that that's out of my ballpark right now. I remember vaguely where to make that fucker regret being manufactured, but still. To be honest, that was a fight I actually used Permafrost Dodge and Titan Parries a lot on. Well, more so Permafrost than Titan Parries. The giant type enemies I prefer to use Titan or Shiva for over my usual of Garuda. To be fair, my old kit was very much Bahamut Mega Flare spam, just because the raining projectiles got me through a lot. Okay, but honestly, one of the most painful side quests is easily the Crimson Caravan side quest chain. And I actually don't know if I got to a point where that story beat or those side quests are no longer available in story beats. Come to think of it, I can probably just check that journal. Those are main. Those are completed. Root, Blacksmith Blues, Blues 2. White Wing, for Great Justice, Bone to Pick, Payback, Cut from the Cloth. Do no harm, Fruits for Labors. Use your loaf. Live and Let Live. So that's the Bulk Lad. Yep, Bearer of Good News. Bulk Lad. Zemeckis. Get cart. Okay, that quest, when you realize what happens there, you're like, well, fuck. Okay, carving out a niche, hot water. Okay, yep, nope. Cock and ball. Okay, so it does them based on completed order. Oh, yeah, it's definitely one of the most. God damn it. And for whatever reason, that one just got purged from my chat, so I can't actually see it. Fucking stupid device. Can you repeat that? About which side quest you think is the most tragic?
Was wondering when you turn up. Had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right...
Oof. I know the exact one. Because that was the one about Otto's son, if I recall correctly. The orphanage that they had to send him or some other bearers to. And you find out that it was basically an internment or other type of camp. And that's why one of the officers in charge of it committed suicide.
Moment. Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the colour of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part.
Yeah, for me it was actually the caravans that got me harder. Balmung Dark. I'm going to guess that's one of the areas in the DLC in Echoes of the Fallen.
But you take my point. Now's not...
Oh yeah, the prison. Where you find out, oh yeah, they were feeding people to this beast. And you rescue a kid, but you learn that, oh yeah, they didn't care. Young, old. Didn't matter. If they were useless, they were fed to the damn beast.
The time to second guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
If I recall correctly, that was part of that Curse Breakers quest chain too.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, it was not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely.
I thought Balmung was Siegfried's sword, and it was Grom that was Sigurd's. They're both parts of different lore, but that involved Fafnir. Yeah, it's one of those same myth, different tellings. It's just where it goes after that, because Sigurd fell for the Valkyrie Brynhildr, whereas Siegfried fell for Kriemhild, and Sigurd gets killed by Brynhildr at the end. Siegfried commits suicide at the end. Neither got a happy ending after they were about to be or got married. And that's just kind of it. It's just a matter of... Yeah, because at the end of the day, it still involves some kind of post-marital conflict. And some random bullshit happening involving their bride-to-be. But yeah, nah. That tracks. Because honestly, there's a lot of overlap there between Nordic and old Germanic tales.
I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. This is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think so. The evil dragon who killed his father, that he seeks to strike down out of vengeance or duty. Because that was part of Sigurd's tale, raised by a blacksmith and slaying the dragon who killed his father out of duty. You consider Nidhogg is the last standing evil dragon, really. And Estinian has his eye after it's been forcefully prized and passed down for generations. What's funny is, for me, the Nidhogg fight was so much more personal because I started Final Fantasy XVI as a Lancer, and my highest level class is naturally Dragoon. So I've... And, you know, the fact of the matter is that the Nidhogg, Estinian, and if you're leveling Lancer and Dragoon, the whole juxtaposition of the entire Azure Dragoon quest line too, on top of that fight, makes it so much more personal. Because then it's you versus you, Estinian, and Needhog basically having a three-way showdown until you beat some sense into fucking Estinian. Like, boy, that won't help you. Now either listen up, get your ass in line, and join us, or get your cheeks clapped by Needhog, because you ain't getting revenge if you ain't gonna try and fly solo, boy.
Inside you.
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What about Byron and Mid?
Sorry, I tab out of fucking... I tab out of Twitch for like a moment, and it always removes your last fucking message, and it's so stupid. Can you repeat that? I saw duty support and something for pre-Shadowbringers, I think you said? Thank you. Oh, that's nice, actually, because my biggest problem with trying to level was obviously having to sit through leveling roulettes because of the lack of XP that those earlier MSQs had. Because as someone who mained Lancer and Dragoon, my big issue with getting into duties was the fucking queue. Like, some people will say, oh, you don't know how bad it is until you've sat in the PvP queue. My brother in Christ, I was an always on-call caregiver at that point in time. I could not afford to sit for more than 20 to 30 minutes, because something would happen if I were there stationary longer than a fucking hour. So, I get to bitch about those queues because they were so atrocious that I could not actually play and enjoy the fucking game because of my job at that time.
Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, Bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
right. We travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
Alright, and here... Oh, hey. More party. Let the games begin! Okay, the fuck? Okay, green. Wait, did they actually add new indicators to side quests? Because generic side quest, the memento icons.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit
Yeah,
from Sid.
the offer is very much appreciated. Like I said, right now my issue is I need to update my rig and resub. But, you know, that has to deal with other financial bullshit that, honestly, I'm not really willing to save up for a new PC right now when I don't really game on it. I'll get a new one when I have more time to myself. Or at the very least, more time where I can quietly sit there and actually play with people. Yeah, I remember that. Like, I think that's one of those dungeons where he becomes a mandatory NPC, regardless of party size. The whole guest NPC thing.
We'll jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
Okay, Jesus fucking Christ. I pressed the Marcus Red. I did not press open Discord, you dumb fuck. Oh. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Because when I did the when I did the fight, keep in mind, that was right around the time Shadowbringers was brand fucking new. Because that was when I picked up the game.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Blasted book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down.
Okay, but could you imagine how terrifying a dominant or icon of Needhog would actually be? Considering that Needhog in Norse myth is the dragon at the roots of the world tree, constantly eating and pruning them. And it's constantly scrapping with Hrasvelgr because Ratatoskr decided to be a little dickhead and keep going between the two and say, hey, the other guy's talking shit about you. What you gonna do about that, huh? He called your mom a bitch.
So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly.
Oh, I'm not surprised at all.
Too happy to lend you a hand.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
So, what's on the
Like,
menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of...
The time I recall, last time I recall fighting Nid, it involved a story cutscene where you take Nid's other fucking eye. Whether or not, like, I want to say you render it blinded for good, but there was something else. Go ahead. I mean, at this point, I'm not too arsed about spoilers because I keep getting random ones like the Hades fight.
The name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
That sounds vaguely familiar, actually. I think it had something to do with the eye in Estinian's possession.
Recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one?
I forget if
The
you...
old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something.
I forget if you have to
I'll
whack
see if I
the
can find your ingredients for you.
dragon out of Estinian, or
do that.
at least whack the stupid
Lest
out
we
of him.
forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
But that sounds vaguely familiar, actually. So I might have gotten to that point in the story. Alright. Yeah, no, like, I'd have to look it up, and probably actually look up story progression and leveling. Because, at the very least, I was level 59 before I had to put the game down. And I had access to some trials and some of the Bard's Ballad quests. Or, like, Ballad of whatever. And the thing is, again, my memory is vague because most of the shit I did nearly 4 years ago. Just as a frame of reference. That was why I kind of gripe about the fact that my line of work at the time meant I did not have enough free time to sit there for hour-long queue pops. Heh.
Seems the hideaway has lost its appetite.
They do something pretty similar, come to think of it, with how... Okay, something a lot of people want is at the very least to see semi-primed Dion, because you don't see him semi-prime.
Lawsman Harpocrates.
And out of all of the dominants, I think he's the only one you don't see semi-prime. Like, if I recall correctly, Jill semi-primes during the only time you fight against her. Kupka semi-primes when you fight him. Barnabas semi-primes when you fight him. And you see Joshua semi-prime in the prologue, as well as later in the story. Of the base dominants, the only one you do not see semi-prime at all is Dion. And that's why people are interested in seeing what a semi-primed Dion would be.
I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic.
One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbricois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never failed to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sandbricois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Oh yeah, Benedicta. I forgot about her, honestly, because it's been so long. But that's kind of my point. Like, you see everyone but Dion semi-prime. And that's why people are like, we got robbed, we never got Dion semi-prime.
What am I gonna do? Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like... Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dalimil Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Oh, she would.
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Oh, right? Because he's got the aesthetic, the whole white knight, purity. And, well, he's a dominant of Bahamut, who is typically seen as an ultimate tier or penultimate tier summon/boss.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't...
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
Like, some people want an episode Dion. Something like the Final Fantasy 15 DLCs, maybe even a standalone version of it that is focused on Dion and the war effort, or Dion's development and his relationship with Terrence. Which, to be fair, as a standalone side game, similar to the episode DLCs of 15, that probably could work.
Sid! Out of your studies, I see. And what is that? is not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? Why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well, then your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we?
Yeah. I'm actually going to have to call stream here. I'm starting to tire out. To be fair, this is usually how long my 16 streams last. But yeah, no, like, a post-war would be interesting. Like, the world right after the final battle. What happened to the medicine girl? What happens to Terrence? What happens to all of these people left behind? Like, hell, give us a movie of that. Because you could fit that into 2 or 3 movies at most. But you'd probably only need 1 or 2. And, yeah, a 50 years later sequel. Call it 16-2. Much better than 13-2, because you're not just mashing basic attack to win. Alright, I'm going to end on that note, because I'm pretty sure I'm about to piss off every Final Fantasy 13 fan in history with that. Alright, you have a good one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the shit show that is my playstyle.